The lion and the deer. The golden rays of the sun filtered through the dense canopy of the jungle. A hush lingered in the air, broken only by the distant chirping of birds and the occasional rustle of leaves in the undergrowth. It was early morning, the time when most creatures prepared themselves for the day, some to hunt and others to survive. Deep within this jungle lived Reuven a mighty lion. His mane glowed like flames in the sunlight, and his roar carried authority across the valley. He was feared by all, respected by some, and understood by none. Though strong and powerful, Reuven carried a certain loneliness inside him. The life of a predator was not only about strength, it was also about solitude. Not far from Reuven's territory grazed a young deer named Orin. Unlike others of his herd, Orin was curious and restless. His eyes sparkled with wonder at the world beyond the boundaries of safety. While his family remained close to the meadows, wary of predators, Orin often wandered into the forest shadows. He believed the jungle was more than just a place of danger, it was full of stories waiting to be discovered. One morning, fate brought the lion and the deer onto the same path. Orin had strayed too far in search of sweet grass. As he bent his head to nibble, the sudden crack of a twig made him freeze. Slowly raising his eyes, he met the piercing golden gaze of Reuven. The lion stood still, his powerful body poised, his tail swishing softly in the air. For a moment, time seemed to stop. Orin's heart thundered in his chest. His instinct screamed at him to run, but something in the lion's eyes caught him off guard. They were not filled with hunger, at least not immediately, but with a strange weariness, as though the king of the jungle carried burdens invisible to others. Reuven took a step forward, and Orin leapt back. The chase could have begun, but instead, the lion paused. "You are brave," Reuven said in a deep, rumbling voice, surprising the deer. Animals rarely spoke across the predator-prey divide, but in this enchanted forest, the bond of words existed for those who dared to use it. I am foolish," Orin admitted nervously. "I should not be here." "Yet here you are," Reuven replied. "Most of your kind would have fled without a word." Orin swallowed hard, his legs trembling. "Will you kill me?" The lion's gaze softened for a heartbeat. "Not today," he murmured. And then he turned and disappeared into the trees, leaving the young deer stunned. Days passed, and Orin could not forget the encounter. Something about the lion intrigued him. Against his better judgment, he returned to the forest edge each dawn, secretly hoping to glimpse Reuven again. And he did. At first, their meetings were silent, a glance from afar, a rustle in the grass. But soon, cautious conversations began. "Why do you not hunt me?" Orin once asked. "Because I am tired of hunting," Reuven confessed. "Power means nothing when it only fills your belly but leaves your soul empty." Orin tilted his head. "And what do you seek instead?" "Perhaps, a reason to be more than just feared." Thus began an unlikely companionship. The deer, full of questions and dreams, spoke of meadows, rivers, and the beauty of the stars. The lion, with his wisdom and strength, told tales of storms, survival, and the silence of ruling alone. Together, they discovered parts of themselves they had never known. But the jungle was not blind. Whispers spread among the other animals. The herd scolded Orin for his recklessness. "One day, his hunger will return, and you will be the first he devours," they warned. The predators mocked Reuven for his weakness. "The king befriends his prey," they sneered. "Has he lost his claws?" Yet the lion and the deer continued to meet, bound by something beyond fear, trust. One night, the jungle changed. A fire, born from a careless lightning strike, began to spread through the forest. Flames licked at the trees, smoke clouded the sky, and animals ran in terror. Orin, separated from his herd, stumbled through the choking haze. His slender legs carried him as fast as they could, but the fire's roar grew louder. Just as despair threatened to overwhelm him, a shadow leapt through the smoke. It was Reuven. "Climb on my back," the lion commanded. Orin hesitated only a second before obeying. With powerful strides, Reuven charged through the smoke, leaping over burning logs and dodging falling branches. His mane singed, his muscles strained, but he did not stop until they broke free of the inferno and reached the riverbank, where other survivors had gathered. Orin slid from his back, trembling but alive. He looked at the lion with tears in his eyes. "You saved me." Reuben shook his head, his voice rough but steady. "No, little one. You saved me long before tonight. You gave me a reason to fight for more than myself." When the fire finally died, the jungle slowly healed. Trees would grow again, rivers would run clear, and life would return. But something had already changed forever. The animals, who once doubted, now looked upon the lion and the deer with wonder. If the fiercest predator and the most vulnerable prey could protect each other, perhaps there was more to life than survival and fear. And though Reuben still hunted when hunger demanded it, he never laid a claw on Orin's kind. The deer, in turn, carried the lion's story through the meadows, teaching others that strength was not just in claws and fangs, but also in compassion and courage. As seasons passed, the bond between the lion and the deer became legend. Some called it foolish, others called it impossible. But those who truly understood whispered the truth, that sometimes the wildest hearts find peace in the unlikeliest of friendships.